Hello there, Drew here once more from St. John's College Admissions, and this is your guide to the St. John's College application. In this last video, we'll go ahead and talk about financial aid. As someone who is currently paying off student loans, I can definitely attest to the importance of financial aid. Now, at St. John's, there are two types of financial aid available. The first is going to be merit-based aid, and this is going to be solely based on the strength of your application. And as we talked about in another video, the one surefire way to make sure your application is as strong as possible is to really focus on that book essay. Because students who have a really strong book essay can sometimes be making the difference between not receiving merit-based aid and receiving merit-based aid. There is also no separate application for merit-based aid. So there is nowhere where you will need to indicate that you would like merit-based aid. You will be automatically considered for it by virtue of your application. Any merit-based scholarships that you receive will come in the mail with your admission decision. Now, there is also going to be need-based aid available. And we cannot talk about need-based aid without talking about two separate applications. The first is going to be the free application for federal student aid. And this is available for any student who is a U.S. citizen or U.S. permanent resident. And what this FAFSA will do is take your folks' financial information and lets both St. John's and any other school you might be applying to know how much need you might be in. This is the main way that the vast majority of students will be able to access federal financial assistance, as well as any need-based aid from St. John's. The FAFSA is available to fill out October 1st of the year prior to your matriculation or your enrollment into college. So for example, if you are planning on enrolling in your first year of college in 2022, the FAFSA will go live for you on October 1st of 2021. It is also recommended to take advantage of what is called the IRS Data Retrieval tool. This tool allows the FAFSA to pull in information from the Internal Revenue Service directly into the FAFSA, and this has two benefits. One is that it makes filling out the FAFSA a lot easier because your folks don't have to dig into a lot of their tax records, but it also can simplify the process later on by avoiding a process called verification, in which additional documentation is requested. So if the information is coming directly from the IRS, there is less chance that that process will be requested from the government, which makes things a lot easier as well. Now, for our U.S. domestic students, so U.S. citizens and U.S. permanent residents, the FAFSA is the only thing that you will need to worry about for need-based financial aid. For students who are not U.S. citizens or permanent residents, we're going to have you fill out what is known as the Css Profile. And very similarly, it assesses how much financial need you might be in. And while you won't be eligible for any U.S. federal aid, you can still receive need-based financial aid through St. John's College as an institution. Because St. John's College is one of very few colleges that will offer need-based aid to our international students. So make sure you fill that out. I do want to impress upon you the individualized nature of the financial aid process. Very rarely do I ever see two financial aid awards that look exactly the same. So, if you are a little bit earlier on in the process of applying to St. John's, you can go ahead and look at what is known as the financial aid calculator, and that will be linked in the description below to the one for St. John's. Additionally, if you are a little bit later on in the process and maybe you have already gotten your financial aid award and you're looking at it and trying to figure it out, make sure you contact your admissions counselor. And again, their information is going to be found in another link in the description below, so you can find both the financial aid calculator as well as the information to contact your particular admissions counselor with any financial aid questions that you might have. So in this video, we've gone over both merit and need-based financial aid and a little bit of the particulars about how that works at St. John's. And this brings us to the end of our series. We've gone over everything from the very beginning of, when do you apply, where do you apply, all the way through that very important book essay, letters of recommendation, and finally, financial aid. I hope you've enjoyed this series and that it's made your application process to St. John's a little bit easier. And we hope to chat with you soon. But until then, peace.